What's good? It's your boy Fight Night Frankie back with obviously another live. It's the night before UFC 325. Um, Glad to have 2 weeks back to back. Obviously, last week's card was a little bit hit and miss. I'm looking forward to getting into it, and obviously whatever comes up during the course of the next, hopefully 2 hour stream. We'll see how things go. Anything in the region of 2 hours to 2.5 hours is what I'm doing. How you doing, Big Boss? What's good, man? 1 minute early. I did that just for you. How you doing, MMA now? I just realized, I haven't had a. You're in the. How are you in the shower? Shout out to you though for finding a way to join your boy's stream. I appreciate it. MMA now. I need to check my Twitter thing. I'm doing a panel on Sunday. I'm gonna have Making the Walk on as well. If you could join on the Sunday panel, that would be great. I'm going to be going live at about 8:30 UK time. I'm going to be reacting to the card. Hopefully, there'll be more to react to this time. But it would be a pleasure to have you on. So I'm planning a 4-man panel, myself included. Couple sausages in a pot, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it'd be great if you could join us on Sunday. So we're going to lock that in. We're finally going to get it done. It's what the people it's what the person has been asking for. So we're going to set that up. Hope everyone's having a good week. Kind of looking forward to this card. I mean, I'm not overly excited, but it's fighting. We were without it for a good period of time. I'm just happy that it's back. I'm betting on my friend's brother's account. You're not allowed to bet on your own account. What's that about? Have you been banned like I have for being too much of a... You're not 16. There's no way you are. Don't say that in here. That will get you banned real quick. This is an 18 over zone. I don't know if you're familiar with this channel. I know you are, but I barely talk about anything that would qualify as light content. What's that for us? I think it's about 2 p.m., 3 p.m. your time, something like that. I think your time difference is about it's going to be 6-7 hours depending on what you are. I'm not fully familiar with the geography of the US or the time zones because I don't really care. This is an 18 and over channel, Big Boss. What's up? What's up, Stephen Gallagher? You little chipolata, you little cocktail sausage. Still. Yeah, I'm reasonably excited. I'm not gonna lie. By the way, if you have just popped in, I hate to do this straight away, but if you could hit that like, and then obviously if you're not subscribed, subscribe. It does help to push it out there. I'm from India, currently attempting GATE exam. I'm only 14 days left, feeling very anxious. Have some tips for it. Don't over revise. Make sure you get your sleep. Obviously, at this stage of the game, last minute cramming material can hurt a little bit. I would suggest just focusing. I'm not sure how those exams work. But obviously, focus on make sure you've got the exam etiquette down, where to pick marks in the right place. I've gone into full professor mode here. Just make sure you're getting your sleep. Don't go in there wired. In Norway is 16. Wait, it's 2026. I'm turning 18. Oh, there you go. Bit of CTE there, yeah? Time doesn't change for us. No, it doesn't. I turned 17 in December. I think you'll just about be fine. But you don't go saying that reckless stuff around here. I'm trying not to swear. Because that will get you banned by my mods. I apparently don't make the rules in here. But we have it as... It's like an over 18s club for a reason. I'm having a look at the poll early, and I'm seeing a lot of people are not picking Lopez, which is interesting. I've clearly been influencing. What is a GATE exam? It's 2 p.m. for me. Perfect. So what I'll do is on the day of, I'll set up the stream in the morning, and then I'll send you a link on Twitter, and then you can choose to set up your channel or not. It's entirely up to you. But we can stream from... If you're not subscribed to MMA Now 27, by the way, give the guy a sub. Good lad, and he actually talks good MMA content. He doesn't talk about the stuff that we talk about on here. Will John Snake get banned for being underage? I guess we'll find out. I don't really want to ban him because, to be fair, he's a good lad, and it's not like he's 12. But just, that's a reckless thing to say in Fight Night Frankie's stream because it's we've had issues of this in the past. You are technically still a minor. Sleep. Scousers don't go to sleep, lad. You little shiitake mushroom. You little posh oriental fungus, lad. I'm not posh, mate. Grew up in southwest London. I don't know if that counts for anything, but how underage is too underage? For me, regardless of what the country's law says or whatever, if you're under 18, you're underage. I got Lopez and Saint Denis, but Hooker is a live dog. Um, I don't. The thing is, here, there's no wrong answer to this question. Frankie, you have six. You have a 6 out of 10 here. How you doing, musical? What's good, man? Musical. I want you on the Sunday panel as well. Do you show UFC matches? Nah, man. I don't want to get. I mean, I'm not monetized or anything, but you can't do that on YouTube. Your channel will instantly get flagged, and you can actually have your channel banned for that kind of behavior. Believe me, if it was in any way possible to do it without me getting affected, I would do it. But I'm selfish like that. Yo, what the F is going on here? Absolutely nothing, mate. Absolutely nothing. You're about to be very disappointed the longer you hang around. How you doing, Justin Kennedy? Is good. What's good, Ash? What's good, bro? In case you guys aren't aware, this is one of the sleaziest, most disgusting communities on well, kind of MMA YouTube. It's just general YouTube. We are disgustingly degenerate out here. So if you're up for that kind of caper, welcome to the channel. You're always welcome. Prepare for an anything goes type situation. Can you play a song called Pow Pow? No, mate. It's ain't that kind of channel. I had a 10K channel and lost it because of that. See what I mean? One slippery move. And the thing is, yeah, Paramount are moving dirty at the moment. I've been trying to get my shorts game going a little bit, and I don't mean wearing shorts, my YouTube shorts game moving. And every time I put any variation or duration of clip up involving UFC, they're all over me. So it's going to be even tougher in this Paramount era. I got my license some weeks ago. Yeah. We're proud scum. Yes, we are. We absolutely are. Whoa, Black Betty, how you doing, man? Good to have you back. I stabbed her first. Great name. Let's say there is only 2 people left on Earth, you and one random but beautiful girl, but there is no protection that she has an STD. Would you risk it? 100%. Depends on the STD, though. Depends. Bodak Raid, 7 out of... How you doing? Oh, that's why, by the way, I was going to say that when I first came in here. That's why I came in later. Because Bodak was on. And I didn't want to mess with that guy. Nobody would have turned up. Nah, it's been long enough. Yes. Can you play the guitar? No. I do have quite a musical side to me. I grew up playing the violin, the flute, and the recorder. And before you question that, no, I'm not gay. It was just what was available at the time. Those free lessons, you got to take advantage of them. Frankie, I honestly quit porn after I was on Hub last night. And all of them videos had a god-awful story that gave me permanent brain damage. As you get older in life, the story in a porn flick does become, not that I watch that kind of thing, but the stories do become a lot more important. It needs to be believable. My man, how you doing, bro? Vote by decision and hooker by friendship and kindness. Interesting. Yeah, they do seem to be loving it up a little bit. Have you been fasting? No, I haven't actually. I've actually been on a bulk at the moment. I'm doing I've changed up the whole game. I'm getting a little bit fatter around the neck in case you haven't noticed, but I appreciate that. The violin and the flute, yeah, man. Not the skin flute before you even try it. That's why I came in later. Nice of you to not come early for Bodak. Wait a minute. I'm not going to swear. We're only 9 minutes in. I want to get to at least 20 minutes before I start dropping racist and ignorant stuff. Frankie, you got Hooker or BSD? I've got BSD because of the takedowns. I still think Hooker is just too deficient in that side of the game. But it's a close one. I've already got my parlay set up. But and Hooker, I couldn't plump for Hooker, even though he is a juicy underdog. If you're an underdog better, Hooker might be the guy for you. Do you think I should fight Diego Lopez to have a chance with Alexa Grasso? He's definitely dicking her down. I don't think she's worth it. I think she's very mid. Looks like you've been on Charlie, mate. I don't do any kind of drugs whatsoever, but that's not what you said. thanks, I guess. Frankie on that musical diet, yeah, man. I'm on the hardcore bulking now. I do this here. I bulk up really big, and then I think to myself, I'm too much of a fat, you know what? And then I slim down again. I think I've got some form of body dysmorphia, to be honest. Fuchs' sake, lad, us Scousers only tune in for the racism. Give it time. Give it time. You know I can't help myself. Hooker's gonna beat BSD bad, I think. It's not of the four I've got picked here, it's the one that I'm the least confident about. Because Hooker's obviously in his side of the world. BSD can be a little bit streaky, but I think the all-round game, I think BSD's been going in there a lot smarter lately. He's not just been standing and banging and doing the whole old school Gaethje thing. He's actually been trying to game plan. So I think he's gonna do all right. Get a good look at my double chin there. By the way, if you could like the stream and if you could vote on the old poll, that would be helpful. Hey mate, bless you. I'm here after a long time. Ash, another Ash. I only thought there was one, but shout out to you, bro. Um, I'm on a THC edible and bug spray right now. Is that a combination you could recommend? Just for the record, I'm not really a scouser. No, I know you're in Northern Ireland, aren't you? I'm on a strict meth diet. Considering you're a 125er, that's probably a very advisable thing. I don't think BSD is bad. I think the performances for BSD with Poirier, and I can't remember the other fight he lost, he looked poor in those fights. But I think he just tried to go in there and sling and bang, and it didn't really work for him. I think he's game planned a lot better. He's picked up, I think it was against Moicano. I don't think he game planned very well in those fights. But against Hoofy and I can't remember the other one person fought, he seems to be a lot more tactical. He's going for his takedowns a little bit more. I think he's done. You don't only do meth once. That's a lie. Once you do meth, you're in. You go to the gym. I work out at home, so I've got like a little gym downstairs in my house. But I mostly stick to I mostly do push-ups and pull-ups, and now I've added sit-ups to the game as well, trying to get the old stomach back in gear. Cal Frankie, thoughts on Volk decision, BSD sub? I think run and lock. I don't think that's a bad one at all. I don't tend to do props when I bet. It's not great. Fix my sound. For God's sake. Hang on a sec. Let me sort this out. Hopefully that's better now. Hooker is never going to win anything. He should retire. At least he's into. Oh, this is why my mic sound's gone all the way down. Hang on a second, boys. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to fix this. For some reason, yeah, my laptop always resets my sound to go back down to like midway, probably because I'm too loud. Hang on, let's fix that right now. There we go. That should be better. That should be better. All right, Paddy's on a strict telegraphed overhand right diet. I think he did all right, man. I'm still maintaining he did a good job. I mean, he if you told me at the beginning that he was going to stand and bang with Gaethje for the majority of the fight, I would have had it over in 2. But for him to make it 5 and to land some good shots on him, I think he did all right. But there are levels. I swear I only did meth once. Cigarettes are more addictive than meth, and yet I can quit and start smoking them whenever. Frankie, you look tired and sleepy. I'm all right, man. I've had a bit of a weird week. I got the Rona again, so wasn't too well. It sounds well shite, lads. What a fucking cauliflower. Fucking cruciferous vegetable, lad. Hopefully it should be better now. Frankie, do you jack off with your dominant hand or offhand? I write with my left hand, but I do everything else with my right hand. I hope that answers your question. I'm not going to go into specifics. Gaethje's fouls helped him a lot, to be fair. I don't think I am on the wrong mic output. It is on Shaw. It's on my Shaw mic, I'm pretty sure. Hopefully that answers your question. I'm not going to go into specifics. Is the sound still bad? Please tell me I don't know what the hell's... It's gone down again. For fuck's sake. It keeps going. The settings keep going down. How tall are you and how much do you... It's going down again. How tall are you and how much do you weigh? Hopefully it's better. I am 5. The sound's going down by itself. This is gonna piss me off. It's literally, I can see the bar on my sound mixer going down by itself. Don't understand it. It's gonna keep doing it now. How you doing, Westy? What's good, man? That thumb in the eye was egregious. It's going down. Oh my god, this is gonna be a problem. I feel like he was gonna lose the fight anyway, but that certainly didn't help. My sound is literally, my microphone sound is literally going down on my. I keep putting it up and it keeps going back down. Hang on a sec. It's got. I can see it going down for me. Hang on a second. Shout out! I'm watching from the Philippines. Shout out to the Philippines, man. I'm going over there again in March. Where in the Philippines are you? Stay. Fucking piece of shit. I guess the swearing's over. It's your web browser. I had the exact same thing. Is it? It's going down again. All right. You might have to walk me through this because it's literally going down. I'll show you how to disable it after stream. You might have to do it now because this is gonna. I can't be doing this all night. I'll be honest. Okay, MMA question. Paddy is unquestionably tough, but I can't get behind lauding a fighter who takes 5 by 5 of a beat into a decision. Yeah, this is pissing me off. Press Alt and F4. No. You know what? I have a feeling you're tricking me here, but I'm gonna put some trust in you here. You're going to New Zealand. Fucking hell. Yeah, I'm doing a panel. I'm doing a panel on Sunday musical. I'm definitely down. Guys, give me a minute, yeah, because I need to fix this. Question is, did Paddy choose to stand and bang? I think he couldn't get a takedown. I think you know when you're in there if you're going to be able to pull it off or not, and he figured out he couldn't. Hang on a second, boys. This is gonna. Sorry, 1 second. I'll be right back. I'll be honest here. I've got no clue how to fix this. I don't even know why I'm going offline here. I'll hop on the panel, but only in character, lad. I might do an open one. It could be fun. It could be fun. Yeah, I like how you say start the mayhem like it's not chaotic while I'm here. Yeah, I might have to restart the stream. Because it's literally just plummeting down to 0 every time I say a word, it goes 90%, 80%, 70%. All right, hang on. How's it going, Bobby Mays? I'm going to be back in a second, yeah. I need to fix this sound settings or this is going to be a problem all stream. Hang on a sec. All right, hopefully this will fix it. Sorry about that. Hopefully you should be able to hear me loud and clear now. That was a ball ache. I did manage to figure it out, hopefully. Yeah, I think it's staying as it is now. Sorry about that, guys. All right, what's good? Yeah, no, I think I figured it out, Bodak. I appreciate it, though. Good old Google. This stream is unlike Pimlet's repertoire, as it has several takedowns. To be honest, mate, I'm honestly flabbergasted, yeah, that I've never, ever had a community strike. I've had comment strikes where people have gone at me in comments, and then I've responded to them and called them bitches or gone after their grandma or whatever. I had a guy say his grandma would beat me up in a stream recently, and I told her to tell her to pull up, you pussy, and I got flagged for that. And he moved to me first. I can hear, see, smell, taste, and touch Frankie. I mean, that's disturbing but perfect. Frankie, what's your opinion about domestic abuse? Depends on the context, mate. I believe any man that goes home to their woman and just uses them as a punching bag is a scumbag and deserves every bit of punishment that they get. However, as Bill Burr once said, sometimes there are very valid reasons, and domestic abuse comes in many, many forms. I'm not saying it's not just in the form of physical abuse, because I think men get emotionally abused a lot more than is publicized. I'll put it that way. And I think that contributes to the overall situation within the home breaking down. Anyway, my only one strike ends. What did you get struck for? I'd rather learn about it now than make the same mistake. The thing is, if my channel ends at any point, I'll just consider it as it was meant to be. Do you know what I mean? What's that little fairy useless? I know you're lurking, Witcho's scary ass. Thanks for helping me sound non-white there. Come out, Tinkerbell. Bill Burr said that about 20 years ago when he was still capable. Yeah, he's fallen off massively. But he's right, man. It's about the... I learned a lot from... In fact, yeah, I've learned a lot from Bill Burr's routines. Especially the rant he went on about how to win an argument with a female. That changed my life. Frankie, you can't. I told you Tyson Fury would be fighting very soon. You were right. You were right. He's fighting Makhmadunov or whatever his name is, right? Never understood DV until I got married. Here you go. Now, I've never, ever hit a woman in my life, but I've thought about it. How you doing, Tiff? What's good? Shout out to you. How's that? I like your new PFP. How's the weather over there? The last time you were in chat, you mentioned something about ridiculous snowfall. Hopefully it's calmed down a little bit. Do you like the t-shirt? I want an honest opinion from a female. He was good for a while, married a chimp. I mean, she looks like a proper Karen, so I think you might. I'm going to take race out of it because I'm not ready for that yet. I've got to build up to the racial despicableness that I allow on this channel. Tyson Fury, man, just piss off. I agree. Is this a bad time? Nah. So I got off to a little bit of a bad start. My sound was all over the place, but I've managed to sort it out. The Jews got to Bill Burr. I don't think it was the Jews, man. I think it was the other crowd that got to him. I'm 95 kg and 193 centimeters tall. I used to be in street fights a lot. I can take hits should I get into MMA. MMA is usually where you get found out. I'm not reading that out. Drago Spooker. Yes, it's harder to catch your boy slipping these days. It does happen, but I'm a lot more prepared now. My girlfriend beats me, but I like it. You sound like Batman. Are you Batman? Fury building the hype back with a good KO win, and they're going to do AJ versus Tyson when AJ... I don't think that fight happens. I'll be surprised if AJ comes back this year, but he might want to, just for the fact that obviously he's gone through a lot of trauma. Tyson Fury is too... He balloons up to a gargantuanly fat weight, yeah, between every fight, yeah. He's retired again for like the 90th time, and he's old now. He's going to get beat up. And I personally think he's a knobhead, so I hope he does. Currently -8, it's ridiculous. We have 4 foot of snow. I would have disappeared. I'm not 4 foot. The roads are finally clear though, except for the black ice. How's the UK? Still a little bit nippy, as we say over here, but it's all right, man. I can finally start going out in normal coats. I don't like fighting, but I wouldn't mind getting rich. I mean, do you know what? Yeah, get yourself a couple amateur fights and see how you feel. Because I've got siblings that did the same thing. They did a couple amateur kickboxing fights, and they turned out to really love it. And one of them's planning on going pro. So give it a go. How come I can't donate? I'm not monetized. Who's Tinkerbell? MMA is not the only way if you want to get rich. Yeah, just go and rob drug dealers. That's how I didn't get my money. Is Fury fighting a Daggy? He is, man. And the guy's quite good as well. Not rich, at least $3,000 per month. Is it worth getting your brain splattered in for that amount of money, though? How you doing, Tabor? What's good, man? Good to have you here. We've managed to talk about a little bit of MMA here. It's quite a nice change of pace. Hit the like on the stream, please, if you wouldn't mind. I'd appreciate it. If you haven't already, just tickle the balls on that like button. That would be real sweet. It helps me out somehow. I don't really understand it, but it does. Okay, only me asking MMA questions. Top 3 ideal world McGregor at White House opponents, if it happens, which it obviously never will. The only person I want to see him fight, well, there's 2. Only 2 spring to mind. I either want to see him fight Jorge Masvidal, who I think would kill him, by the way. I'd want to see that. Or I want to see Nate Diaz free. Those are the only fights I'm interested in seeing. I've missed a stream or free. Did you watch Buster Scruggs and Keanu? I have not. But I promise you now, Tabor, yeah, the first thing I do when I get off stream is I'm going to watch Buster Scruggs. Keanu I was a bit confused about, yeah, because I tried to look it up and I couldn't find it. Who taught the Daggies to strike? Don't know. I don't really have an answer to that question. I mean, Combat Sambo is a little bit of a mixture of the two, to be fair. Masvidal versus McGregor would be dope to watch. I think the press conferences would be good. I think the Masvidal McGregor one, they'd start off really cordial, and then somebody would say something really cheeky, and then it would just go off. I'm with Jigsaw though. You've got like, if I could only get one fight from McGregor for the rest of, I want to see Nate free because it's guaranteed to be an absolute war, and it's a rubber match. You've got to do it. I think Jorge would kill McGregor, and as much as I'm not the biggest McGregor fan anymore, and I don't get anything from seeing him get beaten up anymore. It's got to be McGregor versus Diaz free. Ballad of Buster Scruggs. I'm going to watch it tonight. I promise. I owe you that. I've been catching up on a lot of your shorts lately. Keep up the good work. Why do you hate Paddy the Baddy? I don't really hate him. I'm not too. I think he's a sausage or a donut. I'm not really a big. I don't understand why people gravitate towards his personality. He's not funny. He's quite cringy. He just says sausage a lot, which I know I just said a minute ago. But that's the only insults he come out with. And as a British person, I find that despicable. We can do way better than that. Conor versus Nate is the bigger fight. It's a way bigger fight. Is BSD the lock of 325? I don't think he's a lock. I've got 4 people picked here. He's the one I'm the least confident about. But the way that he's fighting, I think he's going to win. I'm going with Benoit Saint Denis, but I'm not 100%. I'm about 50-50 on that fight. I've just edged it BSD just because I think he's got a slightly better skill set. He's got more tools in the toolbox. And Nate did okay against Jake Paul, considering he did. But boxing's different, isn't it? I think it's the right fight to make. They've both been out of the cage for a little while. The background's there. They fought twice. I say you do that. How you doing, Cheddar? What's good, brother? Granite, please don't tell me you're a Khabib glazer. I don't think Granite is. I also think Gaethje is too big for him. Conor is never making 155 again. The Gaethje fight definitely ain't happening, but I wouldn't mind seeing it. Ground and pound or sub for BSD. That's where I'm at as well. I think it ends in the second round with BSD on top of him, pounding his face into paste. That's where I've got that one going. Hooker's fun, but he's just generally not that skilled. With Hooker, yeah, you've got for him to win a fight, he's got to basically entice the opponent to get into a slugfest. And to be honest, I think people are too smart to do that these days, especially BSD. He seems to be learning from his previous mistakes. I think he would have done better against Poirier if he tried to mix things up a little bit. Poirier was plus 200 in that fight. How much money do you bet on each card? I don't bet a lot. It's usually $50 a weekend. I don't go too in. Paddy versus Connor is a win-win in my humble opinion. Think about it. I wouldn't mind that as a third option, but I don't really care. I think Paddy would beat him, and I think it would be embarrassing because I think Paddy would take him down and just whop him on the ground. But don't talk bad about my McGregor. I'll do what the fuck I want. Okay. Oh, I know what one you're talking about. I actually think I used to find those two really annoying, K and Peel, but they're actually quite funny. Hooker's career stunted after the Dustin fight. I mean, he did beat what's his name? The Polish guy, Gamrot. I thought the Gamrot win was a good win. I don't think he won the fight, but it's a good win to have on your CV. And Gamrot's tough for anyone. So I don't think it was necessarily derailed after that. I did think he lost that fight. I thought it was a little bit of a bad decision, but he looked terrible against Sarukian. He just got dominated. But Sarukian's looking monstrous. I think it should only be American fighters for the White House fight. No, you don't. That card would be shit. So who would you put on that? Who would you put on that card, mate? America, you don't have enough fighters anymore. It's over for you. You've literally, I swear you've got 0 champions. I mean, come on, buddy. You might be more likely to get no American fighters on there than the whole card being an American card. I thought Gamrot won it, Ty. I really do. By the way, subscribe to Tyler Betts. Great channel over there as well. He did, but Hooker was a rising star. I mean, it's a fair point. Tyler Hooker could win if BSD gasses, which he does often. I think he's a lot smarter in there now. I think BSD should be a bigger favorite than he is. Here is one mental idea. Call me a casual. Everyone says Gaethje Paddy loses badly to Ilya, but beat McGregor, and I agree. But at 155, at 170, Ilya is suddenly tiny. Ilya would literally 187 Conor McGregor. He would kill him. Ilya can grapple, is great on the ground. We haven't even... I watched Ilya in the regionals. Yeah. He is very good at grappling, and his ground game's superb. He would fuck McGregor up. And I think he's arguably got better hands. I don't think there's anything McGregor can do. Obviously, he's got a bigger reach, but that ain't going to work. John Jones versus Francis. Why not? Angie, my throat's still recovering, but I'm all right. I had a little bit of an incident at work today that I'll tell you about later. It was wild. I haven't watched MMA since Silva broke his leg. Yeah, this is not an MMA channel. It's not anymore, is it? It hasn't been an MMA channel since about 2 weeks getting into this. People rather talk about their dicks and bumholes, to be fair. The man who beat the man. I'm just saying, McGregor, you need to put McGregor in a gimmick fight. Like, do Nate Diaz. It's got to be Nate Diaz or Jorge Masvidal, in my opinion. That's the fight you've got to make. It will do the numbers. Like I said, it's got all the history. Prime 145 gives Ilya a competitive match. How you doing, Yusalis? I don't think so. I really don't. Ilya's different gravy because Ilya can do it all. He's got power, he's got timing, and he can grapple, and he's nasty on the ground. Robert Patterson's lost brother. Shout out to you, man. I'll take that. I'll definitely take that over the retarded Elon Musk's brother. Alexandre Topuria or O'Malley. I would take O'Malley in that because Alexandria Topuria, I like him. He's decent, but his striking's a little bit sloppy at times. He wings a little bit, and his timing's not great. So I think it would go to a decision, and I think O'Malley would pick him apart. I think. I have Volk. Old dog gonna keep his bone. I've got Volk as well. I haven't seen what the poll is saying right now because I can't be asked. But a lot of people are picking Lopez from what I've heard, which is quite surprising. Shout out to you, Usalis. And shout out to Usalis' channel as well. I've got to get you on a panel at some point as well. I'm mixing it up with the panels this Sunday. I want to have musical on. I'm going to have MMA now on. I might even make it like depending on how the card goes, I might just make it a jamboree, mate. have like 8 motherfuckers up in here and just let the chaos rumble. McGregor is out of his prime. Let him fight someone also out of his prime. I agree. Do Masvidal, who's been out of the cage for a long time, or do Nate Diaz. McGregor's 10-4 in the UFC. How is that better than Habib? I mean, he's not better than Habib. Habib outstruck him, which is... He did go in there drunk, but... McGregor would never beat Ilya. McGregor got lucky against Aldo. Had Aldo fought more calmly, we might have forgotten about McGregor. I completely agree with that take. I think the stars aligned for McGregor. I think the verbal abuse for 14 months and just the mental warfare really won him that fight. And he caught him lacking. I think Jose Aldo is a way better MMA fighter than McGregor. Do you think Drew Dober would defeat Francis Ngannou because Drew is a racist? Drew Dober does not lose to black people. We know this. Sorry, guys. If you're black in here, and that might offend you, but look at the record. Put him up there against a subpar white individual, and he's getting smoked. Sorry, yeah, he's getting smoked. But put him up against an elite black guy. No contest, mate. Yeah, fair call to match McGregor against an old boy, but he's out of his prime and 5 years out of the game. 100%. You've got Masvidal and Nate Diaz is the only answer. Frankie, are you excited for Fiziev Rufi? Who you got? I'm very excited for that fight. That for me is low key. I hate using that term, but it is. That's the fight I'm looking forward to the most. I always said that Rufi was going to be the first to get fraud checked, and I stand by that. He is a much bigger man than Fiziev, but I'm picking Fiziev for this one. I think Fiziev is way slicker than, and Houthi messes around too much. So I think Fiziev is going to dunk his ass. Habib's record is a joke. Islam up to about 20. Habib's record is always going to be questionable because if you look all the way up to his record where he got to like 18-0, he fought nobodies. Habib is, I agree with Jesse Miller, he's not top 3 at lightweight. He's not. Frankie, I'm going to be real. I hate Daggies because motherfuckers act like they are the beacon of Muslim fighters. While Shavkat, Rafael Fiziev, Hamzat exist and are better than Daggies, but motherfuckers only dick ride Daggies. For sure. I agree with that completely. I've got no issue with Muslim fighters or Daggy fighters. I've got an issue with boring cunts, mate. Fiziev versus Rufi should be a 5-rounder. The thing is here, I wouldn't have minded that as like a fight night main event. I don't think it's going to go 5 rounds. I think someone's getting chinned in that one. And I like the 3-round format for that one because I think they're both just going to go fucking in. It's going to be full heat from minute 1. I think that's going to be fight of the night. McGregor needs to retire and delete Twitter. He must go enjoy his coke. I agree with that, man. If I was him, I wouldn't fight again. I've said this multiple times. If I was McGregor, I would be getting one ball sucked, another ball sucked, and my dick sucked, and I'd have my face in a barrel of cocaine, mate. I'd go out charged. Give the prospect a chance. You boost him 10 times, but not with McGregor. He won't come back for that. He's not dumb. If that's what you're talking about. But shout out to you, Nate, though. Frankie, did you see Musical yesterday? He snorted egg yolk and ate like 10 eggs. He snorted egg yolk. Musical's built different, mate. Edgar Penn, both way better. I mean, that's going a little bit far. The thing is, with the Penn argument, you've really got to stretch disbelief because he had some bad losses. But like in terms of pure talent, BJ Penn's up there as well. It depends how you rate things. If you're a record guy, you're going to go Habib all day long. But if you're an actual rounded skills level of competition, Habib's not in the conversation. He hasn't been the same since Habib, and that was years ago. He got too much money. Conor McGregor's pure idea to get into the game was for money. He got everything that he wanted, and fair play to him. Who could McGregor reasonably beat and it be respectable? Well, probably Michael Chandler. I think he'd beat the fuck out of Michael Chandler. Because Michael Chandler's dumb and he'll go in there and bang and he'll just get caught. It'll be Eddie Alvarez all over again. But is that a respectable win anymore? I don't know. There's very few names you could pick out that McGregor could realistically beat. And it's actually like a creditable name. That's why you sling him in there with Nate Diaz and just go, well, at least we'll get a war. Fiziev is better than Paddy. What do you think? He would have redeemed himself against Justin in the second match. I think Fiziev taking that Justin fight on short notice was a big mistake. I rate Fiziev a lot. But he does have a tendency to get a little bit scrappy in there, and that's the problem. Habib's record is not in the convo. I mean purely on the numbers thing, because people will always go to the 29-0. But if you look at the majority of his opponents, they were shit. Habib has had maybe 3 or 4 elite fighters in his record, and I mean elite. And he's maybe had another 3 or 4 good fighters. That's it. If you spend the whole fight on your back on that canvas, you lost. I agree with you, Eaton. I do. It doesn't mean that we have to like it or champion it. Like when Habib fought Dricus, I blame Dricus for that. I said, yeah, it's a boring fight, but I wasn't crying about it. It's like Dricus should have done more. He should have had a better game plan. But it doesn't mean we have to enjoy it. We can respect it and go, do you know what? He did what he did to get the job done, but I don't have to enjoy it. And I'm not going to be sucking dick over that or other things, just to be clear. He won a vacant title against a real estate agent, fought smaller men who couldn't grapple. Then he missed weight and fled. I genuinely think that's the real reason he retired. Because if it was only purely based on his father, he wouldn't have fought Gaethje. He would have retired right then and there, but he didn't. He wanted to give one of his Abdi Al-Aziz's stable buddies a nice little payday. But I think you're right. I think he was getting to the point where he couldn't get to 155 comfortably anymore. And he knew at welterweight, it'd be harder to take people down. And he's striking shit. Nate 3, I won't even watch. He got lucky the first fight. Conor didn't game plan properly. Does nothing for the sport. Nate, you can make an argument that Nate Diaz won the second fight as well. So I've got a balk at that, if I'm being honest. I think Nate Diaz with the cardio is Conor McGregor's kryptonite, because you cannot sleep Nate Diaz. And that's Conor McGregor's best chance, because he ain't subbing anyone. And it has to be a 5-rounder. So it becomes a war of attrition. And Nate Diaz is the worst guy to get into a war of attrition with, because he'll just keep going and going and going. So it's the perfect fight, because we're going to get a war. We're going to get ebbs and flows. And that's to me is the most exciting aspect of MMA. You're crazy. Go back and watch those 2 fights here. You're crazy if you wouldn't sign up for seeing a third. You can't put McGregor with anyone in there who's active, and you can't do the same with a washed Nate Diaz either. I saw my ex crush on Dream. What's Dream? Oh, I totally agree. It's not the most enthralling thing to watch. Absolutely not. Sub to Frankie. Definitely do that. You should definitely do that. I can't give you a good or valid reason why, but you should do it. Tiff, take it easy. I'm going to go and make some chocolate chip muffin tops, I think. They sound spectacular. Thank you for stopping by, Tiff. It's always a pleasure. If you are a respectable person, Tiff does have a channel. She's a very lovely female. So go in there with respect, but sub up to the lady. But don't go in there and be weird. I'd watch a third fight between them. I absolutely would. Of course I would. Them doing it on the White House would be huge. It's got to be 5 rounds, though. It's got to be. Josh Thompson slept. Josh Thompson is a guy that I can't stand. But that can happen as a one-off situation. Nate Diaz, generally, you have to catch him like I don't know. He's proven that he's got a chin of chins, mate. As a South African, DDP's recent comments about the fight being boring is just embarrassing. I agree, man. But I mean, he was honest. He was honest in his assessment, though. He said it was boring, but he said he couldn't do anything about it. I'm looking forward to DDP coming back. I hope they match him up well, because I really enjoy watching him fight. I think he's fantastic to watch. And I was firmly on the DDP train. I told you guys before, when I was working in China, one of his best friends was working with me in a school, and he would call him when we were at the bar and just talk shit. It was naturally, I shit my pants and didn't ask him any questions, but in my defense, I wasn't on YouTube at the time. So there was going to be no simping. Why put Nate never a champion a 5-rounder? Conor is a 3-round fighter because it benefits Conor. If you put him in a 3-round fight, he probably wins the first 2 rounds hands down and then starts to gas after that. You've got to make it interesting. You can't be stacking all the cards in one side's favor, on one fighter's favor, in my opinion. Make it 5 rounds. It's got to be 5 rounds. Volk outstruck Ilya. Habib outstriking Conor means nothing. Same way Hamza outstruck DDP. Well, none of those strikes really meant anything. If Prime McGregor gassed out after 2, 37 years old, 5 years out, 170, good. Yeah, he's going to get... I think Nate Diaz would beat him. I'm being real. If they fought now, I think Nate Diaz would bang him out, mate. How you doing at BN? It's been a while, man. Good to see you back. But I'm not saying... But I'm not out here to do McGregor any favors. Why are we doing that? Put him in a 5-rounder in a rubber match and see how things go. See how things go. Jesse, did I miss? Hang on. If my opponent is sitting in my guard and barely doing anything, how am I losing if I'm not getting hurt? Because you couldn't prevent him from doing it. How you doing, Chrissy? What is good? How are you? Good to have you here as well. It's nice to have some actual women in here. I very much appreciate it. You don't find this in a lot of MMA streams. So value them while they're here. Be respectful. And value them while they're here. Shout out to you, Chrissy. Hope you're well. Hope your family's well. Yeah, man. Just got Wi-Fi after 3 weeks. Damn, it's like that, yeah. What's going on, brother? How you doing, young Gonzo? What's good, man? Frankie, what do you think about Newcastle at the moment? Inconsistent. And we're quite boring to watch a lot of the time. But I saw this coming. When we got in the Champions League and we didn't invest enough over the summer, I knew this was coming. So Habib dropped Connor. He did. And Habib has striking similarities very similar to Juliana Pena. So that's embarrassing. Nice to know you've got better. Seems like the CDC never made it out after I called you in. It was you. This lad reckons he's never lost a street fight. Which lad is that? Because it definitely is not me. Read the whole comment. Habib retired because of zombie humpers in 5 rounds. Best what if? I mean, I think if you go into a cage, the objective should be to finish your opponent. At the end of the day, the rule set is the rule set. If you can't stop somebody from doing that, that's on you, purely. But then I can turn around and say that was boring, but you can't. There's a very different argument between what's effective and what's entertaining. And I'm being perfectly honest. If I was a fighter, yeah, I wouldn't give a fuck about entertaining anyone. I would be all about getting out there and getting a win and getting my money. And I know excitement leads to money, but I would go out there to get hit as little as possible and to get. I never said anything about street fighting before. You liar. Like and subscribe. Catherine O'Hara died. That sucks. Is there no way back for Elanga at Newcastle? I think there is. Sorry to brush that Catherine O'Hara thing to the side. We'll get back to that in a minute. No, I think there's a way back for Elanga at Newcastle. I think if we ease the pressure on him, give him a run of games. I think what needs to happen to Elanga is we need to get like an injury on that side and he gets like 6, 7, 8 games in a row. Pressure's off him and then he can just go there and do his thing. Boring wrestlers ruin this sport. 3 rounds, 5-minute rest. If it's a close and if it's, I mean, I do think the round format is interesting. I mean, why don't they could just do one long round, do like a 25-minute time limit, and whoever wins wins. But it would bore the stinker. I'm telling you, you'd get even more lay-in prayers. You'd get 25 minutes of teabagging is what you would get. We need to change the rule set though, because nobody wants to watch that passive snuggling. It's mixed martial arts is mixed martial arts, mate. You can't change it. You said Catherine O'Hara. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean to be dismissive. What did you say about the UFC325 main event? I thought it was a fantastic fight. I thought Paddy had a good show and he landed some good shots. To get through 5 rounds of a striking match with Gaethje and have 2, I thought he won 2 rounds of that fight. I think was very, very impressive. A lot of people are dunking on him for not taking Gaethje down. And you're talking to somebody who's not a Paddy fan here. I don't really like Paddy. But I think he was part of a very entertaining fight. He clearly realized in the middle of the fight that he was not going to be able to take him down and didn't think it would be worth it. So he fought the fight that he chose to fight in the moment. And I think he did well enough, you know. But in my opinion, he was never going to be a top 5 level fighter. He was given the easiest route possible to get towards the belt. And he stumbled at what was the easiest final hurdle for him. And it is what it is. Doesn't mean he's not going to be worth watching or he's not an entertaining fighter. Sugar should fight Umar. Winner fights the championship fight. It also makes Umar a top fight. I think they will. They should do that fight, but I don't think they will. I don't think O'Malley will take it. O'Malley's already said that he's going to sit out and wait for a title shot. And he'll probably get what he wants. Because they like O'Malley in the UFC. So I think it will be either or. And based on Umar's boring performance against Figgy, which wasn't entirely his fault, but it was boring, I don't think he's next. Bantamweight's in a troubling situation right now because there's no standout contenders. The strongest case you can make is for Merab to get a rematch. And that says it all. I was so happy when Gaethje knocked Paddy out 15 times. It was a knockdown, but yeah, you're right. It was quite satisfying to see. And I bet on the fight to go over 2.5, so I was laughing all the way to the bank, mate. You can absolutely change it. Refs already should reset fighters. No, that's the thing. If nothing's happening, but that's the way things are supposed to be anyway. They're just not enforcing it. If you're going to choose to be somebody who gets people down to the ground, you need to do something with that position. Try and land ground and pound. Try and find a submission. Don't sit on it. But to be fair, we don't see that much anymore. We don't see many fighters just camping. Doesn't happen that much in UFC if you think about it. So I think it is trending in the right direction. Yarn went 1-3. O'Malley would retire after just 3 losses. Fair point. I think O'Malley's one devastating loss away from. Is Newcastle a shit area? I applied for a job near there. It makes it sound. I've only been there twice, and I had a really good time. And I have a friend of mine that lived there for quite a few years, and he enjoys living there. So depends what kind of person you are. It is a goldfish bowl. You'll end up bumping into the same people. But I've heard it's, from what I've seen, it's a nice city, and I've heard it's a decent place to live. Gaethje is no stepping stone, but I agree about Paddy deciding not to go for takedowns because he knew he wouldn't get them. That's exactly where when you're in there. If you've done any kind of grappling, any kind of training, when you're in there if you're capable of taking someone down, and it's not worth going for and gassing out if the chances are very, very low. And Paddy's not a good wrestler, but he's good at taking people down. And what I mean by that, he's got good sweeps and trips, and he's got good body locks that take people down. He's not a pure wrestler. So Gaethje's no stepping stone, but I agree about Paddy deciding not to go for it. Yeah, exactly. I almost read that out twice. Stop touching the canvas and making kicks and knee. This is the real problem, Stephen. So a lot of people give shit to ground and pounders or people who go for takedowns, but they're not allowed to use their full game when they get down there. They're not allowed to do up kicks. They're not allowed to knee to the face. There's certain, if you removed everything, you get a lot less lay and praying because there's more options when you get people to the ground. You can see a lot of them are hesitant when they get someone down and they're afraid that they're going to land an illegal blow. Either allow everything or remove it. Gaethje is going to get smoked. He should fight Conor and both of them should retire. Gaethje is going to get killed by Ilia Topuria, I reckon, in the first round or potentially the second. Ilia is going to destroy him. I've said it multiple times and I stand by that. At 155, nobody's beating him. The only person I give a decent chance to is Arman. That's it. How we doing, Jock? What's good, man? I might need to sound you out for a panel on Sunday as well. The 5-round format favors slow twitch defensive tank fighters. Nate caught Edwards exhausted from working him the whole 25 minutes. That was Nate just being Edwards just being sloppy, in my opinion. Because he got touched a couple times, didn't think he could get hurt, and then got a little bit too cocky in there. What if Bart Volt goes palms up? How you doing, Vamos? What's good, man? What do you mean by palms up? 2+ ounces isn't going to change much. I'm surprised they don't look more like cupped sparring gloves. Seems like that would also stop the eye pokes. Eye pokes would stop if you got an instant point, Doc, whether you do it accidentally or not. Plain and simple. They could end this whole thing immediately. Fuck the accident purpose shit. If you poke somebody in the eye, you're done. You get a point, Doc. Simple. If you kick someone in the balls, you get a point, Doc. They've got instant replay. Just do that, and I guarantee you fighters would stop doing that. They would. I'll give you a shout, Jock. The numbers are growing, but I want to make sure we've got a nice little... hopefully it'll be a good card to actually react to. Gaethje does better than most people think against Ilia, but Ilia's going to knock him out in the third. I think he gets absolutely destroyed, mate. Paddy was clipping him at will. Ilia's going to smash him. Will you be watching Tio versus Shakur? I am going to watch it. I'm probably going to go with Shakur, but Tio is good. That's a 50-50 fight if there ever was one. Or a 50-50 boxing fight. I heard Arman wants to drop down to featherweight. Yeah, and in the meantime, he's stuffing his fucking fat face. There's no way that's happening. That is complete bullshit. There is no way he makes 145. It's stupid even suggesting it. Well, for him to even suggest it, not you, because obviously he's the one that brought it up, but it's absolutely not happening. Should be an immediate point, exactly. I guarantee you, if regardless of the circumstances, if you make eye poking a point doc from the offset, it will stop happening. End of story. If you affect the fight in that way, you should get a point doc. That's how it should be. And it's the same with kicking guys in the balls as well. Accidental or not. Point doc. Fighters will be more careful. Just allow kicks and knees to a grounded opponent. Simple. I think if you can elbow somebody 12-6, you might as well be allowed to side knee them to the face. Gotta go, Frankie. You should consider starting the stream earlier. I wanted to, but Bodak was on and I didn't want to compete with that legend. So Ilya has never checked a low kick. Gaethje's going to wreck his leg. Gaethje did very few. Ilya's movement's amazing, man. He doesn't check a low kick because he moves in and out really well. Is the Super Bowl soy? Couldn't give a fuck about it, to be honest. Did you see Musical snorting his egg? I didn't. I feel like I've got to go back and watch it now. I do watch, and I watch a lot of Musical streams back because they're just entertaining. I just enjoy watching the guy spit. So this sounds like a must watch, but don't spoil it for me because I want to see how he reacts. Seahawks W, sure. Sub up to Jock's channel, the lad streams, and sub up to Musical, not music. Yeah, well, yeah, Musical sub to him as well. But sub to Western Mass Climber as well. After 2 warnings, the third on Tom should have been a DQ loss. BS favoritism. It should have been a point dock on the first. I guarantee they point dock on the first eye poke, and Garn stops doing this. He stops. They all stop doing it. How you doing, Spivos? What's good, my man? Hope life's treating you well. I agree with Jess. Eye poke immediate. The ball shot can be accidental. They wear cups, not goggles. I tend to, maybe with the nut shots, I can be a little bit more forgiving. If you poke somebody in the eye, it should be instantaneous. And I think with nut shots, even with nut shots can happen when you're throwing knees up the middle, and I get that. With eye poking, you're doing that in a fist fight into someone's face. It should be an instant point dock, no questions asked. And they're not doing it on purpose because then they can choose who to favor and who not. They can slip a little word in and go, right, you can decide when to do it and when not to. It's ridiculous. Frankie, does UFC 325 have an opportunity to be more fun than 324? I'll tell you this, there's more fights. So if you're somebody like me, and most of us in here are, that watch the entire card, it definitely does. And there should be a bit more fluidity to it. I also found out I don't have to pay for pay-per-view as well. So fuck Paddy the Baddy even more for the fact that they thought they were going to get $20 out of me for watching that cunt. Never going to happen. Called it since preseason, wanted the Broncos too, though. As soon as the Philadelphia Eagles went out, I wasn't interested, and I wasn't that interested up to that point anyway. But American football is fun. There's just too many breaks for me. That reach measurement shit they do with their hands extended should be banned in the first place. Motherfuckers use distance measurement as a terrible excuse. Ash is all fucked up. It's like you could see when Paddy was standing next to Gaethje, he was taller than him. And yet Gaethje is listed as taller. The whole thing's mad. How you doing, Ace? A25F. You look like Napoleon. Fine. I mean, it's better. I mean, I got called Robert Patterson's brother earlier on, so you got to take the rough with the smooth. Thank you for jumping into the stream, mate. I would like to make a comment on you, but people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones and all that shit. They should have given Trevor his contract for the gloves instead of making. I think the whole gloves thing is stupid, man. I don't think it makes any difference. I really don't. I don't. If people have their fingers exposed, they're gonna get poked in the eye. There's gonna be eye pokes. But the way to eliminate it, as I've said, point dock immediately. Ilya will spark Justin round 1. I agree. I think maximum it might get to the second round, but Ilya is going to flame him. Do you like American cars? Is this noodle? I do like American cars, but I think you guys like my dream car is a Shelby GT5 500 for my own personal reasons. But I think American engineering is dog shit when it comes to vehicles. I don't think you're built to last, mate. I don't think you can mess with German or Japanese engineering. But I do think American cars are fun. But if you're a old man like I am, I'm in that sweet spot where I'm like not quite middle-aged yet, but I think the American cars are going to be for when I'm ready to kick the bucket and I just need something nasty. If BFD can't sub him in the first, Hooker's going to hook his head off. I don't think so, man. I think he can take him down. He can just take him down in the second. BSD is a lot more controlled in himself now. He's not wild. Framing is an essential part of combat sports. It's the glove design that needs to be fixed. I think motherfuckers are doing it on purpose. I think Garn does it on purpose. I think Imavov does it on purpose. I think Jones does it on purpose. If you want to poke somebody in the eye, you're going to be able to do it regardless, because the gloves have to be kind of open to allow that grabbing factor. It's not going to be a problem that's going to be easily fixed. The only way to fix it is point docking. BSD and Diego are both supposedly 5'11". Diego with shoes on was clearly shorter than barefoot BSD, and how they managed to get this wrong every time is beyond me. Paddy stands slouched with a hunchback. That's why he appears shorter. But that shouldn't take away from the fact that when they're measuring the cunt, because you can measure somebody from wingspan, right? Your wingspan is apparently the same as your height, which obviously is mad to me. Napoleon Bonaparte. I'll take that. It's better than the actual Napoleon. I mean, barely. I don't have a perm, though. What are you talking about? You don't think this features... I've got more, like, sharp features than Napoleon Bonaparte. He was more round, mate. I was thinking of Napoleon Dynamite there for some reason. But Napoleon Dynamite was basically a round orange with a hairpiece on. You've hurt my feelings. Or you can frame fingers up, not out. It's all deliberately. Park Avenue is better than Lexus. Okay. German engineering is top tier. I love Porsches. You can't beat German engineering. And the Japanese have got it sorted as well. At the press conference, it was so funny they put BSD to sit next to Hoofy. That could have gone any way. Jiggy, he poked Bilal right in the eye. Yes, he did. It's deliberate. McGregor poured constantly with the lead hand. Never got called on an eye poke. Gabe, Leon, Jones, Usman, Gaethje all know. Did you not recognize me, Anne Frank? Are you Batman? The thing is, your hand can't be curved to defend takedowns. You need to have your hands free to defend. That's exactly what I'm saying. If we're going to allow... You're basically saying, get grapplers out of the game. If you want to change to like a... Make it... They should just have specialist fights in that case. Have strike and only fights and have anything goes fights. Piotr Jan has mastered... Piotr Jan... I still can't get over how good that performance was last year. Performance of the year, in my opinion. I remember once they listed Baralho at 5'8". Crazy, innit? Crazy. Fecking nice guy Daniel... Yeah, Daniel Cormier was an eye poker as well. Glass houses, mate, again. Daniel Cormier was a notorious eye poker. I take an eye poke for every... and a point for every second nut shot. I agree. I know you're Batman. I know you're Batman. Fuck you, by the way, and welcome back. I think they're going to have rules. They should be enforced to a T with big consequences. This is the part that always boggles my mind. With an eye poke, what is an accidental eye poke? If you've got your fingers out, you have to pay the piper. Why they haven't changed this is ridiculous. I genuinely don't think Gaethje meant to poke Paddy. I don't think he meant it. There's definitely intent and accidental, but the result should be the same. He poked him in the eye. You saw what it did to Paddy. He was literally like more mongoloided than usual and went straight down. Trevor Whitman created a glove. I've never heard about this. I've never heard about Joe Rogan talk about it about 400 times. I don't think it would make that much difference. I'm being real. But it's got to be better than the current ones they've got. Because those current UFC gloves are trash. The only reason they haven't done it, let's be honest, is money. Because Trevor Whitman ain't going to back down on his cut, and nor should he. I want guys fast and finishing. The best athletes can't perform well 5 times 5 minutes with short rests. Defensive EPO blockheads. You can train yourself to be better at that, though. You just can. Cardio can be improved. It just absolutely depends on how much you're willing to put into it and the type of training you're willing to put, and how much EPO you're willing to shove up your ass. We need to start taking these fouls more seriously. They're doing it on purpose so they can pick and choose what fighters to favor. Mustangs are good American shit. I mean, they're not good engineering wise, in my opinion, or they're not the best engineering wise. It's not like they're terrible, but I imagine they're very fun cars to drive. Accidental is if the targeted eyeball was in motion, I think. Yeah, because somebody can move into it. But if you've got your fingers out and you're pouring towards the face and you poke somebody in the eye, you should suffer the consequences. Yeah, the 1960s ones. Better muscle cars were more fun. The referee didn't see the poke, but they said they were looking at it on replay. They could have, what they were afraid to do is to give like a retrospective point doc, which is what they need to start doing as well. In between rounds, they need to be looking at the highlights, and if there's fouls, punish them. It might mean changing the scoring system, but I don't give a fuck. You can't. It's literally my profession. Connor and Nate can never be close. Maybe not close, but then that's when game planning comes into it. You game plan what cardio you have. You make adjustments in the fight depending on how you can maintain your cardio throughout a contest. It's all part of what makes MMA so intricate and interesting. The Mustang Eleanor was a beautiful machine. Is that the Shelby GT500? Is that the same car? Because that Gone in 60 Seconds beauty was because I'm doing a little bit of doxing on myself here, but my mother's name is Eleanor. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, and the car was beautiful. I was like, yeah, that's the car I want. How do you punch someone with a straight left and gouge the eye? Who punches with a thumb out? Anything can happen in the heat of a moment. It seemed to me with Gaethje, it more was when he struck and he was kind of pulling out, or when he was pulling in and making the fist, he's kind of poked the thumb in. It was 100% accidental, but it got him a knockdown in that moment. So it should be a point doc. Go back to 9-9. Paddy carries the punishment, but he gets the round equalized. Ford is such an old ass car brand, yet they didn't perfect engineering in 100 years. They didn't, but Ford make great vans and trucks. So shout out to them. Frankie's right. You can optimize and use your cardio more wisely if you are on a cardio machine. This is what I'm saying. You need to just do it the right way. This is all part of the intricate game planning. Henry Ford was a fucking genius. I mean, he was one of the GOATs. This chat has gone all over the place and I love it. Just another reminder, guys, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. I haven't been able to get over 30 likes recently, and I'm not saying I deserve them, but I want them. So give me them. It's free. Don't be a little cheap-ass bitch. Garn's eye pokes were at best very careless. They were more than careless. He poked him into the back of his eyeball. That wasn't just a let's agree, Nate Diaz is not as skilled an MMA fighter as Conor McGregor, but he's got balls. And I like that can be an equalizer sometimes, Nate. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that eye poke from Aspinall was as bad as it gets. When you see the replay, he didn't just poke, he didn't just graze the eyeball. His finger went into the eye. And the fact that anyone was going on like that wasn't egregious and that Tom should have continued is a fucking spastic. I like old cars like Tirana. I can't put a Tirana in my mind for some reason, Ange. By the way, if you're looking for good exercise videos, go to Ange's. She's an absolute hottie, if you don't mind me saying so. But very good at core exercises, especially if you're looking to tighten up the old guard. I don't know why I put it like that. But shout out to Angie and her channel. Did he really jock? Porsches used to make tanks, now they make 911s. I mean, I used to have a Porsche when I was in China. I had a Cayenne, and they are beautiful. They just run so nice. And just sitting inside a Porsche is just, even a family car like that, beautiful. I really enjoyed it. Garner's a sociopath, intentional. He poked his brain. That's how far his finger went into his eye. And Lincoln Town cars, I don't like cars like that. I'm going to be honest. Those overly big drug dealer cars, I'm not into them at all. I would never drive something like that. The fact that Dana is still getting subtle digs at Aspinall is a joke. Dana White is a cunt. He's a gigantic thumb. It reminded me of when Macy Barber got kicked in the face when she was grounded and got rocked. She was absolutely faking the hell out of that. I hate Macy Barber. I think she's a dumb slut. Frankie, why are American cars huge as fuck compared to American? Why are American cars huge as fuck compared to American cars? Batman, have you banged your head? To be specific, Garn will cheat to win. Chandra's one of the biggest cheaters in the game as well. They're all scum. I don't know why you don't go back during the round break, or if the fight ends, you go back and you fix it. It's a fight. Shout out for Angie's channel. Give her a sub. She is awesome. The way you talk about that Porsche, you would make love with that Cayenne. Again, you mean? I'll do it again. I hate her too. She's the woman Ian Gary. I've rooted against her whole career. This is how me and Spivos just have an understanding. We're like two horses in a harness. This man has always understood me. She's a dumb slut, and I hate her. She's a half-decent fighter, don't get me wrong, but she's a crybaby. She faked a seizure to get out of the Erin Blanchfield fight. She's a cunt, and I've never liked her as well. She looks dumpy as well. Jeep track hawks of hella fast. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I don't know that much about cars, but I'll give my opinion about them because, you know, I just think I'm wonderful at everything. Thanks for the 30 likes, by the way. You guys are amazing. I feel like my job is done for the night. I'm not going as of yet, but finally hit that 30 like mark. Really appreciate it. But yeah, somebody was mentioning that they're not too excited about this card. I don't think it's that great a card names-wise, but I think we're going to get some bangers in there. Do you think Chris Duncan should step in to fight Moicano? I do. Who was Moicano supposed to fight? I absolutely would do that if I was Chris Duncan. Absolutely. It's a winnable fight, and I love Moicano. Macy got a breast implant. Now, let's not knock her for that. I have dealt with breast implants many times in my life. They don't feel very nice, but they look great. So shout out to women that get breast implants. Let's not discourage any of that kind of behavior. I do prefer natural, no matter the size, but there is a place in the world for breast implants, and we should not be discouraging that. Do the Italians know how to engineer a good car? Well, yeah, Ferrari's phenomenal. And Maserati's Italian as well, isn't it? I mean, those guys can engineer a vehicle, but they're not on the same level as the Germans and the Japanese. Moicano versus Ortega was a rematch too. I feel fuck Ortega, man. Ortega's terrible. Moicano would have destroyed him. Brian Ortega's shit. He's a punching bag. Chris Duncan could beat Moicano, but that's a tricky fight on short notice. I would still do it. The thing is, there, if he goes in there and loses but has a good fight, the UFC will remember it, and they'll give him other opportunities. Sometimes you've got to take a risk. See, Spivos just gets it. They are hard and disgusting. Fake tits do not feel nice. They haven't worked out the game yet. They look good though. They do look good, but they don't feel good. If you know, you know. Steve knows. Implants are a hard no for me. Beggars can't be choosers, Westy. I'm joking. But I get why you're not on that. Because they do feel weird. I did have an ex who had them and she looked phenomenal, but like she couldn't smash, for one. Awful. And they did not feel nice. But I'm not somebody who's overly gropey on the fun bags anyway. It feels kind of childish to do that. You know, to just be all up and like groping up on a pair of boobs. It feels childish. I share way too much in here. Some of them look good. I mean, they do. Some of them look utterly shit as well. You're right, but they don't all look good. Spiros. I said sorry. I keep spluttering. I meant Spiros. I know somebody called Spiros. Calculated risks, and the UFC doesn't remember when fighters do them a favor. It very much depends. It does. I think when opportunities come around in this game against a ranked opponent, you've got to take it because you're going to have to fight them sooner or later. And if you're somebody who's dedicated to the game like Chris Duncan is, you go in there, trained. You train round the clock. I know fight camps are a bit more intense, but you should be in shape all year round and you should be ready. The scars on the underboob that come from fake tits are gross. I can deal with a little bit of scarring. Women who can smash disgust me. Is that a controversial opinion? I like women that know what they're doing. I don't like women that are like planks of wood. And I've been there and it's horrible. I don't like to have to do all the work. But I'm out of the game anyway, so does it matter? I like tits that have milk in them. Sure. That's definitely preferable. For sure. I like tits that are filled with cobwebs. Fucking hell. Chris Duncan weighs 183 in the cage. I can only imagine what he cuts from. He's a big lad as well. He's a big lad. At least pretend like you haven't sucked 300 dicks for fuck's sake. Maseratis look cool, but lack on luxury features. My 2012 Jaguars are nice cars. Had way more. A Jaguar is one of those things that you get when you're in your elderly state. Do you know what I mean? When you get a little bit older, you go for interior comfort, and Jaguars are very, very good for that. It very much depends what car you get, depending what age you are. I know it sounds like an obvious thing, but your priorities change suddenly overnight. Personally, as an older gentleman, I prefer comfort over aesthetic. That's just me. But younger men are more likely to go for something that looks good and doesn't necessarily feel good. And all power to you for that. I get it. A lot of big lads at lightweight, but Duncan is heavy. Duncan's going to do some bits, man. I've counted him out almost every time. And he keeps getting the job done. And I want him to win because I like his backstory. He's a no-nonsense, get in there and smash. Jaguar is Indian now, unfortunately. Yeah, we lost that one. England has no cars left, really. We're finished. But the classic Jags are classy as fuck. They are nice. I do like a classic Jag. But again, it wouldn't be up there on the list of priorities for me. Certainly not. I don't really have like a dream all-round car at the moment. Driving isn't really that much of a big thing for me. You know, I'm more of a passenger than a driver these days. I haven't driven in years. I let people drive me, mate. Duncan versus Torres 2 as a title eliminator would be sick. If I was Duncan, I'd be avoiding that fight at all costs. Torres is fucking nasty. But Duncan, and Duncan did almost get clipped by McKinney. I would stay away from that. Torres, I think, is going to be a serious problem. He's rangy and he's got nasty power. I think Torres is going to go... I think Torres will get as far as top 5, and then I think his grappling will let him down against the better fighters. But I think he's going to steamroll his way into that spot. I wonder why Hooker has been so inactive through his career. He would only average 2 fights a year, one in some years. He's fought a lot over the course of his career, though. I think he's had like 40 fights or something like that, and that piles on. I think he's more of an opportunity taker. And he has been active in the past. But I mean, he didn't fight that long ago, and fair play, he's getting in there again. So I think it's more the opportunities that come up. Why did cops call it an old man's car too? They straight up told me it was the reason for pulling me over. Despite initially claiming the plate came back as stolen, they will just lie. How you doing, Malik Hushawn? You misspelled you're clearly a bot. But shout out to you. Not gay, but Torres Finney's big call. I'm glad somebody brought this up. I think he's going to get beaten. I think he's shit. I think he's a juiced up, blown up shithead. I think he's terrible. I guarantee you, Torres Finney is going to gas out after round 1. Jacob Malkoun, for me, is one of the locks of the card. I think Jacob Malkoun's going to dust him. Jacob Malkoun has great cardio. He's way better rounded. I think he's going to beat Torres Finney up. If you look at the 2 records, you might be inclined to maybe go for Torres Finney. And looking at him, big, beefy black dude, he's going to get fucking melted. Mark my words. Torres would KO BSD and Paddy in the same night. Probably would. Torres is nasty. He's real nasty. It was also going to be Torres versus Oliveira, but it fell through. I don't think that was ever going to get made. Torres is shit, and his last fight was Torres Finney is bad. He is a ballooned up cunt. Malkoun is coming off a bad injury, isn't he? I don't even care, mate. He is way better than Torres Finney. And I think he's taken the requisite time to come back. I think Torres Finney's going to beat him up. Didn't he have to learn to walk again? Oh, I didn't realize it was that bad. I'm still picking Jacob Malkoun. Torres Finney is awful. Awful. He can't fight. He literally grapples to death. And Malkoun's actually got good takedown defense. He's got good cardio. I think he's going to batter him. He's going to butter him. Who is this white boy? I'm Frankie. How are you? I'm assuming you're not white making a comment like that. But shout out to you, Twiny Fave. Hope you're well, mate. Where are you from? I'm just a standard regular guy. I'm here for the fun. I'm not here for the money. Quite clearly. Is Chris Duncan a Weegie? What's a Weegie? Malkoun is 29. He looks 34, and that's why I pick him even more. I agree. The fact they're giving him another fight in the UFC is a joke. Well, they tried to keep him out. I think he's the only guy in UFC history that had to go through 3 Contender Series fights, coming off wins. He won all his Contender Series fights, and they kept saying no. That says it all. You're from Germany. Shout out to you, bro. Love Germany. And I say this about German people as well. German people have some of the best senses of humor that I've ever seen. German people are generally very funny. He's kind of a Weegie. He's from Sterling, which is, as in a Glaswegian. I got you. I'm not sure. But Jock's the one to answer that question. For sure. So I am going to do a pre-fight. I'm going to do a pre-fight stream because Newcastle are playing Liverpool a little bit later. Give Finney his flowers. I won't. He's terrible. Where in Germany are you from, Twiny? I've been to Germany twice. Love it there. My daughter's going back there over the summer. Such a clean place. People are awesome. And they know a good beer. It's said like Ouija. Fair enough. Ouija. I should have picked that up. But no, Torres Finney, Tyler, is really bad. He's a balloon. He's a balloon animal. This is a Germany appreciation space. All is forgiven. In fact, Germany, nothing needed to be forgiven on this side because I'm, in fact, Irish. So shout out to you. Manuel Torres has the style to get beat by a prime Bobby Green, though. I don't think so. Torres has got nukes in his hands. He's no Ouija. He has a Chukter accent. He sort of waits for his shot to land. That's the thing. But that patience is a virtue, man. In the fight game, you've got to learn. You've got to absolutely learn to not be impatient in there. It's very, very important. Hang on a sec, boys. Sterling is not Glasgow, for fuck's sake. Irish backed Germany in World War II, innit, Frank? I mean, I wasn't there, but I can imagine we were conflicted. Definitely conflicted. I mean, our hate for the English still lasts to this day. It's why I got sent here. Me and Justin Kennedy kept saying Duncan was the kind of guy to get pieced up by Bobby Green. Duncan is a weird one because if you look at him, he looks like he shouldn't be winning, but he's just a Chad. He's a Chad, and he's not a bad fighter. He just, on the eye test, doesn't look like he should be getting it done. But anyway, boys, I've just had a very, very long day at work. It's almost midnight here, so I am going to be doing I'm doing a live stream tomorrow just before UFC 325, as I always do. So I'll do a pre-card stream. We'll get into each and every fight, talk about the usual nonsense we usually talk about, and then I'm going to do a reaction on Sunday with a panel. I'm hoping to have Jock on, Musical on, MMA Now, Making the Walk. I'm going to send out links to all of them and we'll see who turns up. But we're going to do a proper reaction panel on Sunday. And that's going to be the way moving forward on the weekend. Because I want to get a bit of a Usalis. I've got to get you on as well. Usalis, if you can hit me up on Twitter, I've really got to get you on at some point as well. Because I've known you for ages and it feels yeah, the pre-fight lives are always fun ones. I always enjoy them. But Cheddar, I don't know how many times I have to ask you to come on, mate. You don't have to go on the camera. Don't worry. We're not going to expose your roundness, your rotundness. But I'd love to have you on at some point. And same with not West, well, Westy obviously as well, but Woe Black Betty as well. I'd love to have on. But anyway, guys, I really appreciate you turning up. If you wouldn't mind if you haven't hit the like button already, if you wouldn't mind doing so, obviously, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I will be back tomorrow. I'm going to say, I think the fight card starts about 9 o'clock. In fact, let me check. Before I go off, let me just confirm this. I'm just going to go onto my betting app and find out what time, because that's the only true way to find out what time a fucking card starts. 1 second, boys and girls. By the way, I'll tell you what my parlay is tomorrow. I'm not going to do it today. I'm going to leave a little bit left over for tomorrow. I believe. Okay, so the card starts at 10 o'clock my time, so I'll be on about 8:30. It's a weird start time for an Australia card. But anyway, shout out to you guys. Much love to you as always. Really appreciate you. So be prepared for the pre-stream tomorrow, and then we'll have the panel stream on Sunday where I'm going to try and do it big. If it ends up being 8 guests, it ends up being 8 guests. Fuck it. Let's go old school on this one and just get as many bros up in there as we possibly can. Chrissy, shout out to you. Shout out to Douglas. Shout out to Gaz. Shout out to Jock, obviously, Cheddarhead, Usalis, Jigsaw, BBC Junior, Caravaggio, Tyler Betts, Douglas, of course. Our German brother that turned up, forgot your name already. Shout out to you. Twiney, I think it was. I think I said Jigsaw already, but shout out to you again in case I missed you. Shout out to Westy. Shout out to Tiff, to Chrissy, to everyone who turned up. Appreciate all of you. Much love. And shout out to just shout out to everyone. Shout out to everyone. I will catch you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your evening wherever you are. I hope it's a blessed one. And I'll catch you all, like I said, tomorrow. Be a little bit earlier than it was today. I'm going to go and play Schedule 1. In a bit, peeps. Actually, 1 second before I head off. Is anybody online that's one of the boys? Probably not. We'll double check. S-Dogs, let's go over, if you don't mind, guys, before I bank here, this he's only got 6 people in there at the moment. Head over to my boy S-Dogs MMA Talk. Head over to my boy here and show him some love. Guys, in a bit.